Hello everyone, myself Dr. Omkar Sangita Dilipra Sonone, faculty at AFMG, and I'm glad and pleased to welcome on board three of our successful graduates, and now they have turned into doctors after successfully passing and clearing their foreign medical graduate examination in the recently conducted session. So please welcome on board Dr. Arnav, Dr. Harshita, and Dr. Parth. First of all, I would like three of them to introduce themselves to yourself. The first one, Dr. Arnav.
Uh, Hello, myself Dr. Arnav Tatekar, and I am a student of Tsmu, Tver Medical State University, and I joined AFMG because Omkar sir last year he came to I think कब आए थे सर आप
In the month of February,
in the
yes.
month of February you came, and then my biggest question was that yeah, whether I should study online or offline. So he like straight up said to my face that if you have to pass, you have to join like offline session. So yes, the
Great,
this is all
great.
history.
Thank you. Dr. Harshita?
Good evening, Doctor. I am Dr. Harshita Roy from Tsmu State Medical University. And same as Dr. Arnav said, you came last year in February for an orientation in Tsmu. And even though I was little bit sure that I will go to FMG only because all our seniors gave lovely reviews. But when you motivated us with all those good words and you said that no, you should never fear from saying that you are an FMG. So all those motivating words were actually for for us it was a big thing. So that was the time that I decided that it's only and only AFMG.
Great, great. Dr. Parth?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Patel. I'm from Smolensk State Medical University, and I decided of AFMG because my seniors were from they passed from AFMG. In our university, there was a wave of all the coaching institutes, but I was not knowing. To be honest, I was not knowing any faculty or like just my seniors said, just blindly take AFMG. No need to think of any other thing.
Great, great. So now, my first question to all of you would be, basically, how did you start or begin your preparations? Because see, always when we record a lot of interviews now, most of the times we tend to get the answers. No, I have only prepared for last 2 months and all of that. But genuinely, I would like to ask you to give an honest feedback. Basically, that did you prepare during your UG days? How was your time basically in Russia back then? Like, what was your preparation strategy at that point of time? So let's start with Dr. Harshita.
Sir, to be very honest, I had started a little bit from college days only, but somehow because we had 100% attendance issues, we had to do our laundries, cooking, and everything on our own. So it was very difficult. It was getting very difficult for us to take out time for all those, like for the preparation that we needed for this exam. So I decided that it's better. Like I had asked you also on the orientation day that, sir, will it be enough for us to like prepare in 6 months? And you had given us the hope that yes, beta, you will do it. 6 months are more than enough. So yes, little bit I did from my UG days, but mainly my preparation started in July only from AFMG Gautam Nagar, and I was honestly that anxious and a very underconfident student who used to think that oh mujhse nahi hoga and other people are answering better than me, I can't understand this that. But it was basically a journey. It was a process where I started from scratch, and today I am here where I am.
Great, great. As you rightly mentioned, it's actually a journey that you tend to learn a lot of things along the way. That's really true. Dr. Parth, what was your preparation strategy during your UG days or after coming back here?
Honestly, I started from fifth year, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like just I was just watching the videos on online platform, but I never solved any kind of MCQs. I was not knowing actually the strategy of like
Sure.
preparation. So the real preparation started from July only. But
Okay.
I have seen the videos of all the major subjects like once.
Okay. Great.
My planning was fixed from the first day of the July only, when I joined coaching, that I would complete the reading of what's in class they have taught. I will complete that and that night only. Means I will just go through once.
True.
Help me.
That's most important. As you said, basically you have to revise whatever content have been given throughout the day. That's most important. Dr. Arnav, what was your strategy back then in Russia and after coming here?
So strategy was like I was a part of a room in which all the seniors had cleared the FMG in first attempt. So that was the pressure, and my senior, like super senior, he scored around 240 in his first attempt. So he told us to study one clinical subject. So I studied in my fifth year like Hobbs, Gynae and ENT. So that helped me a little bit. And then after sir, whenever I joined in July, my whole strategy was like that. Ki, uh, if how Dr. Parr said that whatever is being taught, like
Mhm.
whatever happens, kitni bhi neend aa jaye, you have to uh, revise and like if possible solve some MCQs and then sleep. So that was
That's
my strategies.
great, great. That's most important. Revising and MCQs, yes, MCQ solving daily. That really helps, obviously. Now, the first thing, as a FMG aspirant, for example, if I ask you, like the first thing that would come to my mind after coming back, because there's a lot of noise going around, like whether it should be online or offline. Obviously, both platforms have its own pros and cons, but what would be your advice basically? What has been your experience with the offline coaching? And why do you think it would be better or worse or anything like that? So let's start with Dr. Arnav.
Sir, I would suggest each and everyone to go for offline coaching only, because sir, it has helped me because I sat in first bench and I used to answer, and even if I don't know the answer of anything, I used to hear the answer what other people said, and so that some questions were like that I know that someone answered me, it was in my subconscious mind, sir. And some of my friends who are there who have not passed, the main problem was like they were still in Gautam Nagar and they were doing online. So I have talked to them and said them to if you are going for second attempt, then please go for offline classes only, sir, because it's a huge difference.
That's true. That's true. One thing that you actually mentioned, that most of us do tend to sorry, forget, and that's the most important thing, that even if you're not able to answer, you
Yes,
tend to hear the
yes,
answers from everyone and you tend to remember that somewhere in your subconscious. That's great. Dr. Harshita, what is your take on this?
So I feel for me, most importantly, it was like I was also confused that whether I should go for online coaching or offline coaching. But I was very skeptical that if I sit at home and do it, then maybe I won't get that push.
True.
Basically, when you look at the students around you, you look at everyone, they are into the hustle. You will feel that, okay, I should also make those efforts at home. I mean, I have respect for all those who have cleared from home as
True,
well,
true.
but still, like for me, I needed a push. And Gautam Nagar was a big push for me, because when we used to attend the on offline classes, teachers used to share their own personal experiences as well with us. So it used to be a very interactive session, not just okay, we are watching videos and learning. So all those things mattered a lot. And as Dr. Arnav said, hearing to the answers and then trying to think that, okay, what should be the answer? So it was a whole lot of an experience.
Right, right. That's most important, as you rightly mentioned, that you always need a push, and basically, the interactive sessions that we have in offline, that's not possible online. That's a very important thing. Dr. Path, what is your take on this, and how was the experience in Gautam Nagar?
So another experience, though it was not good, but I would suggest offline coaching because sir, the atmosphere we get, sir. About for me, it was like, sir, I was not that kind of student who is actively answering,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end I was. But from
Right.
the starting, and सर मुझे वो याद थे जो मैंने गलत आंसर दिए थे.
True.
So, and eye contact with professor, that means whole different thing that we
True,
won't
true.
get in online.
That's true. Obviously, as you rightly mentioned, कि वो याद चीजें रह जाती है जो definitely गलत करी है, and then you won't repeat the same mistakes all over again. That's most important. Now, my question would be regarding once you began your preparations. Obviously, initially, you were not having a habit of sitting for long hours of classes, that too offline. Second important thing, how did you manage sitting for longer hours? First thing, and even after going back, as you all of you have mentioned, that revising the content and then solving MCQs, even a lot of people find it difficult. So, what has been your strategy? Did you skip anything on the same day? How did you manage and all of that, Dr. Path?
So, sir, I would say that starting was really difficult for sitting long hours, but एक था फिक्स था कि बैठना ही है कुछ भी हो और ऑप्शन ही नहीं है अपने पास. And then after going home revising, for starting few subjects, like जोश होता है ना starting में. So, so it was going smooth. But sir, it happened sometime that we were not able to revise. But I have kept that my this portion is left for revision, and when I would get break in between the subjects, I will complete this revision. Anyhow, I have to complete the revision what happens in the first course of the class.
True.
So yeah, and offline we don't have option to leave the class.
Right. That's the most important fact, I feel. Like,
But
even if you want, you cannot leave the class at that point. And
yeah,
secondly, definitely, as you rightly mentioned, ki initially it might seem difficult, later on it becomes easier. Dr. Harshita, what has been your experience? Like, once you began your preparations, obviously it would have been difficult, but how did you manage, and what was your plan at that point of time when you began?
So for me, to be honest, sitting for long hours or staying away from distractions such as social media was not a big thing, because that way I'm, I think, blessed. But the main problem was कि चाहे आप कितना भी सीनियर्स से पूछ लो कि दीदी भैया कैसे पढ़ना है, when you go to Gautam Nagar, it becomes very difficult. I used to sit for hours, like नींद आ रही है, कॉफी पी रहे हैं. I used to sit for hours, but I could not, balance between doing the theory part and doing the MCQs as well on the same day.
Right.
For me, it was a big struggle. Like, I have known Dr. Parth and Dr. Arnav. They both were actually very good at it, because I know they used to answer a lot and answer very well. But I was a slow beginner. Like, for me, it was very difficult. I used to cry on calls with my seniors that Didi nahi ho raha, sab kuch saath mein nahi kar pa rahi. But slowly, as I earlier said, it's a process. You
Right.
start doing the theory. I had a lot of backlogs, but still, dhire, I tried and I gained that pace. And finally,
Right. That's most important, as you rightly mentioned, because a lot of people lose hope in the starting itself, because they find it so overwhelming and I'm not able to cope up, definitely. So your seniors did play a very important role, basically, to keep you like coped up with the situation. That's most important. Dr. Arnav, what was your experience initially, and how did you manage things?
Sir, initially was I listened to Dr. Vikas, and he, like, after first my first class was pediatrics, and after that it was a PSM. So Dr. Vikas came before PSM and said that PSM बहुत बड़ा subject है, and अगर तुमको याद करना है तो just go through the pages each and every day
Right.
and remember. And sir, I would like to thank Dr. Maruti also, because he gave us that strategy that 45 minutes का वो करके चलो, उसमें 40 मिनट्स में अगर कुछ भी हो जाए, लाइक ही लिटरली सेड दैट साइड में बिल्डिंग बिल्डिंग गिर जाए, यू डोंट हैव टू लाइक डिस्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होना, अगर फाइव
Right.
टेन मिनट्स का ब्रेक लो. तो सर दैट 45 मिनट वाली ट्रिक लिटरली हेल्प मी ऑल्सो.
Right, right. That's very important advice from Dr. Maruti. Obviously, like taking a smaller session for your revisions, initially, definitely it helps. Now, my next question to you would be like, once you definitely entered AFMG, all of you have told like you got a reference from someone, mostly your seniors, or I have come over there. So now once you have chosen AFMG, basically, like what has been the role of AFMG in your preparations, over whatever you want to definitely describe, first thing. Secondly, how did you find, because you have been speaking to a lot of other students as well, so obviously how did you find that AFMG was different somewhere, like if you compare, obviously you have not attended the other institutes, but still if you want to give me a overview of that. Let's start with Dr. Arnav.
So role of AFMG was like ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, like सर स्टार्टिंग लाइन में मैंने हाथ पकड़ा, और सर लास्ट लाइन तक, फिनिश लाइन तक हाथ नहीं छोड़ा. So that was the role, sir. And I would like to thank a staff member also, sir, like Mahesh sir, because it is a small thing, but on the day of examination, I even told to Dr. Harshita that during lunch break when we were coming out of the center, uh, I was like alone. I had no one. So everyone, sir, mummy, papas were there, and I was like, I had no one. Sir, there was Mahesh sir. So he told us that go to have lunch and all. So sir, his presence and being there like satisfied me a lot, and anxiety with his first temper. So he really helped me. And regarding sir other coaching institutes, I would like to say, sir, um, AFMC का जो material है, like your material, it's very concise and crisp also. Your T&D session are like ऐसा तो कहीं कुछ होता ही नहीं है, तो और वो सबसे like each and every question sir what was from T&D, ऐसा कुछ बाहर ही नहीं था. And that's also मतलब सबसे best है sir.
Great, great. One thing that you rightly mentioned, that from day one till the last day, definitely, like FMG was holding hands. And as Dr. Vikas always says, I reiterate the fact again and again that we are a family. So that's more important. Dr. Harshita?
So I would like to say that initially, like there were a lot of places where our strategy was not working. And I remember Dr. Vikas used to come in between the classes and used to share a lot of things with us. So one day he said, and I had no idea that we have to practice questions also. That was like just my first or second subject. And he said, I hope everybody has taken question banks and everything and practicing daily. And that moment I got to know that, okay, we have to start. And every time he used to come, he used to give us he used to tell us that, okay, just focus on what we are teaching, don't go for multiple sources, and our notes are like enough for this exam, so don't like बोलता ना कि भटको मत. So
Right.
I feel all those things, and as like rightly said by Dr. Arnav, हाथ पकड़ा शुरू से, हमने भरोसा भी किया और एंड तक वो उस भरोसे के साथ हम चलते रहे, एंड वी सक्सीडेड. एंड इट्स नॉट ओनली वी हु सक्सीडेड, इट्स एक्चुअली यू ऑल हु सक्सीडेड, बिकॉज सर
Right.
आप लोगों के बिना इट वुड हैव बीन very difficult, very difficult.
Right. That's most important. As you said, Bharosa. Obviously, trust is the factor I feel that students and the institute or the teachers should definitely have between them, because then things seem much easier. Right. So that's always should be there. Dr. Path, how has been your experience?
I would like to say that AFMG जैसा कुछ नहीं है. I still remember my senior's word when I was taking AFMG. He said, trust करना notes को, भले ऐसा लगे कि इसमें से कुछ नहीं आएगा, बस उसे trust करना, वही पढ़ना. And sir, AFMG syllabus is really concise compared to others, and the planning of AFMG in between T&Ds, QRS, but this thing really helped us. Like in our planning, our division planning also, this thing helps. कि कल TND है तो मुझे ये करना है, आज ये सब्जेक्ट के साथ ये सब्जेक्ट करना है, ऐसा कहीं और नहीं है.
Right. As you rightly mentioned, basically in between the subjects, if test and discussions are conducted, that actually plays a role. And I've seen all of you definitely struggling initially with preparing two subjects at a time, but yeah, you finally managed it quite well. Now, my next question to you would be, what would be your approach basically about revisions, and secondly about MCQ solving? So, what was your own approach, like which was different from others or anything? And secondly, what would be your advice regarding these two things, revisions and MCQ solving? Let's start with Dr. Path.
Yes, I would like to say, sir, what I did कि MCQs मैंने पहले start नहीं किए थे. सब बच्चे क्या करते हैं कि पहले से ही PYQs करते हैं. What I
Right.
was doing कि I was reading the topic और जिस टॉपिक मुझे समझ में नहीं आया कोई टॉपिक तो वो टॉपिक का MCQ सॉल्व कर देता था मैं. Or
Okay.
solving that MCQs that helped me to understand the topic more better.
Right.
And I started the solving MCQ from my first revision.
Okay.
Yeah, and custom modules, PYQs, and that was the plan. I did 3 revisions.
Great.
Yeah.
So I feel that's most important, as you rightly mentioned. 3 revisions, definitely that's huge because people are not able to manage one most of the times. And secondly, about MCQ solving, as you rightly mentioned. Dr. Harshita, what was your take on this revisions and MCQ solving? How many MCQs daily?
Sir, to be very honest, as Dr. Part said, initially it was getting very difficult also for us
Right.
to manage both the things together. So I used to try to read all the notes, as you used to say, ki just go through them once
Right.
before sleeping. I used to do exactly the same thing, but yes, revision, like along with revision, doing MCQs was very tough. I would definitely say that. But as I told you earlier, that I gained the pace slowly. Like
Right.
initially, I used to try doing some like 50 questions and all. Dhire dhire, it went up to 100, then 150. I won't say like that I did very like बहुत ज़्यादा questions per day. I used to
Mhm.
do like maximum मेरा 150 तक ही गया है. But I gained pace from maybe November when I was giving my first and second revisions. So
Right.
उस time पे like during the classes I used to be like ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, even if the pace is slow you have to keep going on.
True. So that's most important, as you mentioned. Like, even if the pace is slow, you have to just keep going on. As I always say, basically, if you're not able to run, at least walk. And if you're not able to walk, at least crawl. That's the most important thing, because I've seen a lot of people like struggling and crying in front of me. Sir, nahi ho raha, abhi chhod de, abhi nahi ho sakta, and all of that. But that's the most important advice I feel. Dr. Arnav?
सर आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक डॉक्टर विकास बिकॉज ही सेड कि जो आपका सब्जेक्ट अभी क्लास में चल रहा है आप उसके
Right.
एमसीक्यू मत लगाओ एंड यू हैव टू टेस्ट योर रिटेंशन पावर सर सो
Right.
आई वुड आई वुड यूज टू सर स्टडी द सब्जेक्ट जब वो सब्जेक्ट हो रहा है और उसके बाद आई वुड used to sir solve some MCQs and it was like sir 50 to 70 MCQs per day and I too have only the pre-PG app, so I used to go on that only. And about sir revisions, I remember sir November का time था, and it was sir like your surgery TND. So you said कि अभी तक तुम लोगों ने जितना पढ़ा वो रिवीजन नहीं था वो सब रीडिंग थी इसके बाद रिवीजन स्टार्ट होंगे तो सर दैट लाइक boosted me कि अब अच्छा ये है तो फिर and after that I completed two more revisions sir.
Right.
The math.
Great. Great. So that's most important, as you all have mentioned, that revisions, minimum 2 revisions, you all have done, and I feel that's most important because one revision never helps.
Mm.
So that's important advice. My next question to all of you would be regarding like, what do you think was one different thing that you did? Any advice that you would have got from the faculties or any person, any senior, but that has worked for you? You don't think so that usually people do, but you have done it and it has worked for you. Any special thing that you, one thing that I would like to ask you from you all. Let's start with Dr. Harshita.
So I feel that I was very consistent with my
Mhm.
preparation. There have been times when I have actually failed, because I used to see Dr. Parts, Dr. Arnav, we all used to sit in the first, second rows only.
Right.
So when I used to watch the other students knowing the answers and everything, I used to feel very demotivated. And even Dr. Arnav knows, because we used to always, during the chai breaks, we used to discuss ki yaar nahi ho raha, mere se pata nahi rahi hai and all that. But
True.
I feel, sir, one thing that I told you, that I just kept going. And the second thing that I would say, that I never went with the thing that okay, iska itna weightage hai to isi ko itna padna hai. I
Right.
felt कि okay, there are 4 subjects which are 30 marks each, moreover. But I also felt that the small subjects, like I took it like collectively, कि अगर बहुत people were like this कि 5 mark के subject है उसमें क्या ही पढ़ना है. But I was like कि 5 mark के भी तो मतलब 4-5 सब्जेक्ट्स हैं तो उसको कलेक्टिवली देखे तो there are 20-25 marks, right?
Right.
So that was my approach to everything, that okay, master किसी का नहीं होना, but you have to be jack of everything. So
Great.
I guess that was my approach.
That's true. As you rightly said, you have to be a jack of all trades and master of none. That definitely has to be remembered, first thing. And secondly, you have very importantly mentioned one thing, and that is even the minor subjects have their role to play. As you said, you have to see it collectively. This is a very good approach, basically, because once we only say dermat, so people think, yaar, chodo na chota sa subject hai." And I've seen people skipping those subjects, basically, not even studying them. So that's a great advice. Dr. Parth,
For me, I don't know, but I used to do like from first revision, I used to think while I was reading the topic that
mm-hmm.
how questions can be framed from this topic.
Right.
And if I don't understand, then I would open the Q bank of that topic and I would see that how questions are framed. That has
Right.
worked from me while reading the topic. I was thinking, and of minor subjects, I was always thinking, motivating me that if I will be in between 140 to 150, then these minor subjects will help me to cross 150.
Right.
So I used
That's
to do it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. As you said, minor subjects may not have a role up to 140, but as you rightly said, 140 से pass होने का जो role होता है, that definitely minor subjects have a very important role in that. And secondly, as you rightly mentioned, like once you are reading your notes now, and once you start thinking like कहाँ से question बन सकता है, how the question could be framed, from which topic or which point, that definitely helps you in a lot in the revisions. That I agree on that. Dr. Arnav, what was that special advice or thing that you that actually worked for you?
So the advice you only gave two advice you gave. First, Dr. Harshita discussed that you have to be master of all and jack of all
Back
and
of all.
master of none. And sir, second and the most important advice is that you said that don't leave your main notes till the end, whether it is a TND and QRS till the last moment. Like last week, I was like studying from my main notes only, and you also said that avoid all this rapid revision, like all these videos on YouTube, because uh, if they like अगर उनको करना होता कि इसमें से आता तो they should have studied it earlier. So sir,
Right.
that helped me a lot. And sir, photography memory wala to sir, it was like it really helped me a lot, sir.
True, true. As you rightly mentioned, you have to never leave your main
Yeah.
notes till the last time. So that develops your photographic memory. That's obviously true. And secondly, as you rightly mentioned, you do not have to fall prey to the all that YouTube videos and PDFs which would be coming in the last month. Because I've seen a lot of people definitely like falling prey to all of that and then leaving their main notes behind. From wherever you study, does not matter. But irrespective to that, if you leave your main notes, it is definitely a drawback somewhere. So that's important. So now, like, let's come to the final part of the interview. My question to you would be regarding first, second last question would be, sorry. Now you know that there have been so many things like the main classes were the regular classes. Apart from that, test and discussions were there. There was rapid revision sessions after that, and ultimately there was a quick revision session QRS. So, how did these things help you? What role that these things had to play in your examination or in your preparation journey? Basically, how did you utilize them? Were you able to cope up with all of that? So that because a lot of people tend to miss out on TNDs or definitely do not attend the rapid revisions or anything. So, what has been the role of all these sessions basically in your preparation? That I would like to ask. Let's start with Dr. Harshita.
So as you said, there are people who miss out. I was also one of them. I'm sorry for that. Like because there were times when I used to think कि I told you I was that underconfident person. So I used to be like,
Right.
यार TND कैसे करूँ? पूरा ही नहीं हुआ. Test कैसे दूँ? I used to give tests, but I used to be very like scared of that they had that I had that performance anxiety that क्या होगा क्या नहीं. But as I told you, धीरे धीरे everything fell into place, and I just tried doing what I was not doing before.
Right.
And so बस वही है, मुझे खुद भी अपने ऊपर एक वो है कि यार I should have attended more TNDs, I should have been more like जैसे बाकी लोग कर रहे थे, तो I was a little bit उन सब से पीछे थी. बट सर लास्ट में आई वुड डेफिनेटली से जो क्यूआरएस था, सर क्यूआरएस सेशन में कान नाक सब कुछ खोल के बस बैठ गए हम और आप पे भरोसा किया। एंड सर उस टीएनडी मतलब उस क्यूआरएस में इतना कुछ था जो एग्जाम में आया था कि ऐसा लग रहा था सर ये आपके वजह से ही बस पास हुआ एग्जाम हमारा। लिटरली लाइक आई थैंक ऑल द फैकल्टीज, बट आप थे जो मतलब एकदम लगे पड़े रहे एंड तक कि बच्चों को निकालना ही है बस इससे। सो सर क्यूआरएस सेशन वाज वेरी हेल्पफुल एंड थैंक यू सो मच कि आपने क्यूआरएस सेशन करा।
My pleasure, completely it is. And as you rightly mentioned, that you tend to skip out things, but that's fine. Ultimately, at the end, if the result is in our favor, we are happy for that. Take it. Chalo. Dr. Arnav, what is your take? How did you manage these sessions for your benefit?
So it was sir really tough for me, like in the starting regular classes. But sir, as soon as your first PSM TND was started, sir, I knew that you will work very hard for us because you conducted that TND for 2 days, and then after you started sir surgery. So sir, you like your hard work pays a lot for our success, sir. Thank you so much. And also sir, TND sessions help like a lot uh, because sir, the thing is that in your TND it is very like hard to score like even 60%. So that that kept us uh, जुनून होता है ना सर कि बस नेक्स्ट टीएनडी में थोड़ा ज्यादा मार्क्स लाने हैं, ऐसा वैसा। तो एंड लाइक डॉक्टर हर्ष सेड दैट क्यूआर तो सर था ही अच्छा, लाइक each and every like 60 to 70% of the paper was from like sir QRS. So thank you sir.
So that's most important. I feel, as you rightly mentioned, that TNDs may initially you may not score well, and that a lot of people take it definitely as a demotivation somewhere. But if you tend to think the other way around, that I have to score well in the next one, so that definitely keeps you motivated. Dr. Path,
सर सर सबका अलग अलग रोल है. So for
right,
classes, it was like building concepts. Then it
right,
was TND. TND helped us to integrate the different subjects in the question
true,
and how to apply and all. And discussion is very important more than taste. Like then this rapid revision, so that helped us plan the our revision. कि आज
correct,
ये डेट इसका रिवीजन है तो इससे पहले खत्म करना है ये सब्जेक्ट. And then
nice,
QRS was a confidence booster.
right.
QRS
So
was really
how wonderfully and beautifully you have actually described the role of each and every session. I like that definitely. So, concept building with your regular classes, then definitely revising and understanding the nuances in your test and discussions. And definitely, rapid revisions will help you plan your revisions, and confidence booster would be the QRS. Great, great. So, you have very wonderfully put it in 4 words. Now, my last question to all of you would be, what is your last piece of advice basically to all the upcoming FMG aspirants, whether they are the like well, the ones who are going to attempt the FMG for the very first time, or the ones who will be repeating this time because of definitely they got stuck somewhere in this course. So, what is going to be your advice to all of them? Definitely. Let's start with Dr. Path first.
one word AFMG ले लो. Sir, actually TNDs and AFMG helped us. I would really like to thank you, Vikas sir, and the whole AFMG team, all the professors for being really backbone of our journey.
Right.
Yeah, and only consistency is the key, and consistency and hard work.
True, true. You have rightfully mentioned that consistency and hard work definitely plays the most important role, because even if we work hard, it's up to you basically how much you're able to gain and recall. That's very right. Dr. Harshita?
So I would like to just say कि every month of preparation has a different significance.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, as I had told earlier, that I was very slow in the beginning, then I
Right.
gradually gained the pace. So I would like to tell everybody कि जो लोग अभी join कर रहे हो, as Dr. Part said, AFMG is one thing. Definitely join AFMG. And second thing is कि just trust the process. Don't
Right.
think कि I am लैगिंग या फिर लोग मुझसे आगे जा रहे हैं तो इट्स अ गुड थिंग बिकॉज यू आर गेटिंग मोटिवेटेड बाय लुकिंग एट देम. अगर
True.
वो आपसे पीछे रहेंगे ना तो आप में वो अकड़ आ जाएगी कि अच्छा मैं तो उनसे बेटर कर रहा हूँ. That was one thing that happened with me, because every time I used to see the students scoring well, I used to also think कि यार I was always a good student in college as well, so why am I lagging behind? So that gave me a motivation. And definitely, as Dr. Pad said, that AFMG faculty, AFMG staff members, everybody is there. They are our backbone. And you, especially, sir, you have been a great motivation since day one. The day you came for the orientation in Twer, that was the day that I actually decided that AFMG is the place for me.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. We are pleased always to help you out. And as you rightly mentioned, definitely that you just have to trust the process. That's the most important thing I feel in the journey, because a lot of people they get off track because of this. Dr. Arnav?
Sir, I would like to suggest like future aspirants and those who did not clear this time. That's like Dr. Paz said that consistency is the key, and also sir like I would like to suggest that like join offline classes if possible. Like come to Gautam Nagar, breathe the air of Gautam Nagar. That's the key to success. And sir, also I would like to add the to have like 2 or 3 friends or companion to whom
Right.
you could compete and like healthy competition. Like Dr. Path, I would like to ask him he each and after each and every 10 के बाद तेरे मार्क्स कितने हैं ऐसा like healthy competition sir. So it keeps you going. That's all.
True, true.
Yeah.
As Dr. Harshit and Dr. Arnav has rightly mentioned about, like, you have to take that in somewhere in the positive stride. If someone is going ahead, you have to like have that healthy competition amongst yourselves. That's great, I feel. Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure talking to you all once again. And I wish you all the luck and all the very best on my behalf and AFMG team, basically, to all your future endeavors and pursuit that you are going to undertake. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
sir.
much,
Looking
sir.
forward to meet you sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
we are eagerly waiting to meet you,
We
sir.
are wait.
Delhi.
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. हाँ जी महेश जी.